Ways the Pawn Stars spend their millions. Drop a like to this video if you're a fan of Pawn Stars. Hey there everyone, what's up and welcome back to another video on Film Read. It's no secret that Pawn Stars earns a crapload of money. Considering how successful Pawn Stars is, as well as their extensive gold and silver pawn shop, Harrisons and Chumley bathe in green notes. From cars to guitars to figurines and artifacts, they go crazy over this. Let's just dive in and see how they spend their millions. But before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on anything. Alright, let's get to it. Number 10. Vehicles. The collection of cars that Pawn Stars possess speaks luxury. From vintage to modern, they have it all. Rick once bought the 1932 Lincoln Roadster for $95,000. Chumley owns a 1932 Chevy Impala. The other cars include a Rolls-Royce Phantom, Buick Regal, and a Ford Fusion. The only thing missing from Rick's collection was a plane, which he later purchased for $65,000. Talk about swag, huh? Number 9. Rare coins. You can't not expect a pawn shop to not have old coins. From the 20th century to BC, our Pawn Stars have them all. And they don't cost cheap at all. Once, Rick was offered a 1922 high-relief dollar which the seller won in a poker game. It was pawned for $80,000. The other time, they saw a coin from the time of Julius Caesar that had the Ides of March imprinted on it. Even though confirming its authenticity, Rick found it to be very expensive, so he let it go. Number 8. Musicians' treasures. Musical instruments can be pretty costly, and anything that has ever touched a celebrity's hands doubles its value. The Harrisons acquired this guitar previously owned by Mary Ford, made by her husband and fellow musician Les Paul. It was bought for a whopping $90,000. This other time, Vic Flick came to sell off his guitar, the very guitar that played with the Beatles as well as other big names of music. Rick bought it for a staggering $55,000. But the instruments aren't the only thing bought in the shop. Elvis Presley's jacket also made its way there and was bought for $40,000. Number 7. Shoes. The Harrisons aren't the only ones getting rich from their brand. Their family friend and co-star on the show, Chumley, also made a name for himself earning millions. Chumley likes to spend his money on shoes, among other things. His shoe closet is so extensive that it includes everything, including released, unreleased, and limited edition models. He has Nike SB Dunk High Kentucky, Nike LeBron 8B2 Sprite, and so many Jordan pairs he doesn't even remember. His whole collection is worth $30,000 to $40,000. Number 6. Vacations. When off-season, Rick Harrison likes to spend his days off into the mountains. He goes off the grid during most of the winter for 5 months approximately. He takes one of his turbocharged vehicles because those mountains just can't have any vehicle. Rick spends his months away from their living, away from the camera in places very remote. Number 5. Guns. Pawn Stars have never hidden their obsession with guns, but this one was one of a kind. Rick and the guys walked down the shooting range to look at a pretty unique gun. It was a 7-barreled flintlock smoothbore gun which one could only see in a museum. Upon firing it, the crew was blown away because of its 7 shots. They bought it for $30,000. Number 4. Super Bowl ring. A Super Bowl winner's ring. Check for the Harrisons. Brock Williams came in to pawn off his Super Bowl ring and didn't ever return for it, leading Rick to claim possession. The ring is diamond encrusted and probably worth more than what Williams initially pawned it for, which was $2,600. It's probably tens and thousands more now. Number 3. Ancient archives. From a copy of Jay's Treaty that had belonged to Thomas Jefferson, to JFK's Cuban cigars, the historic artifacts treasure for the Pawn Stars is amazing. Rick bought Jefferson's Jay's Treaty copy for $50,000, JFK's cigars for $60,000, and a Polish medallion belonging to the 16th century for $30,000. He also bought an original parlor card signed by Lincoln himself for $100,000. It was the basis of the Lincoln penny. Number 2. Gold and silver. The shop lives up to its name. There have been more than enough times when people have come to pawn off their precious metals. Once a man came with bars of silver claiming he had bought it a long time ago when his father advised him to invest in silver. Rick offered the man a shocking $110,000. The customer was so shocked and walked away happy. Once a man brought in a 17th century gold bar retrieved from a shipwreck. He claimed he had found it in his grandma's drawer. It was bought for $35,000. Number 1. Maurice Sendak sketches. This might be Rick Harrison's most expensive purchase ever. He was offered to take a look at Maurice Sendak's sketches, which eventually became original sketches for Where the Wild Things Are children's book. When Rick saw them, he knew he had to get them. So he bought it for a whopping $250,000. I hope you get the idea now. What items among these would you like to possess, and what price would you pay for them? This brings us to the end of our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then let us know by liking the video. Stick around for more amazing content, as we'll be soon seeing you in another video. Until then, take care and goodbye.